Hi, I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Lindsay Mead.
And you're listening to
Two Bad Pagans.
Let's be honest, Lindsay, this episode has no main topic.
It's true, but we've been super witchy lately.
I'm not sure shopping for pagan jewelry counts.
Well, let's let the listeners make up their own minds about that.
Well, fine by me. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hello!
How you doing? You can't answer, but...
It's probably March. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, before we go into it, I just want to point out, if my voice sounds funny,
Yes.
I've been sick for the last, day or so. I had, this 24-hour sore throat-a-thon, and now my nose is a little runny, stuffy, so if I sniffle or cough, I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah.
But I sound funny because I got the throat, and then I have some cough drops in to keep me from coughing too much.
We're dedicated.
Yes.
Yes.
I just got to give mad props to green tea. Thank you, green tea. Shout out to you. Because I swear to God, anytime I get sick, if I just drink green tea, I get better so much faster than I would without it. I drank a cup of green tea in the morning and then one before bed, and I feel so much better today, and I'm on my way out.
Good.
I think if I wasn't drinking it, I would have suffered for days.
Aw.
So, thank you, green tea. Thank you. All
Thank
the green
you.
tea gods.
The more you know.
All hail, yeah. So, okay, the other elephant in the room
Yeah.
is that our podcasts are late, and it's mostly my fault.
And mine.
It's kind of Nick's fault, but it's mostly my fault.
Also my fault.
Because we've been late getting to it. You know, we don't start recording until the last 5 days of the month.
Yeah.
And then instead of being a super productive person who goes home and automatically edits the podcast and gets it out there, I take a week before I ever get to it. And then it's already March. Or February. And then Nick's like, so how's that podcast coming along?
Please see the title of the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're Two Bad Pagans.
So we anticipate that will happen with this one too, because we're already starting off kind of late.
It makes me laugh because Lindsay took over editing the podcast because I was taking a long time to edit it.
I know, that's so funny.
I know, and Lindsay's taking just as long to edit it.
If not longer.
I wasn't going to say that.
Because it's true. You're like, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, it's true, Lindsay. Yeah, it's nice, Nick.
But it also takes me a couple of days to upload the podcast, when pretty much all I have to do is just upload the podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is it taking so long? But I don't know how to do that. I don't really want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
But then also, part of the reason I said, hey, let me edit the podcast, I think I said, because you take too long to do it.
Yeah.
Which is true, because you're so busy with work and stuff. And I think that was my main excuse. But mostly, I'm like, I want to add an intro and add music and add all this stuff to it.
Which is so difficult for me, because I was editing the podcast on my phone. Editing audio on my phone. Mm-hmm. It's the worst.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good way to do it. I just did it on my computer, so it's super easy.
Yeah.
There's no effort whatsoever to editing the podcast. Usually we don't cut anything out unless, we say something stupid. But mostly it's just it takes an hour because I have to listen to it to make sure we don't say anything stupid.
Yeah.
Or offensive or that we'll regret.
Yeah.
Which I think has happened maybe twice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to say that about my mom. I'll cut that out.
Yes. I think that was back when I was editing the podcast. You're like, that bit we talked about there?
Please don't leave that in there.
Cut it, please.
Yeah.
But no, it rarely happens.
But I like our little additions. I like that we have the intro now, and then I put the music in there.
And it's I come from some audio editing in my background. I just don't have any way to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm I can sort of do it, but it's a huge pain in the ass and takes hours to do on my phone what it takes seconds to do on a computer.
Yeah, it doesn't take me very long at all. And I keep the same template saved, so all I really had to do is just switch out the audio files and then take the intro and put it in the beginning, and that's it. Yeah. It's pretty simple.
I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's on my phone.
So,
yes.
How have you been?
I've been good. Good, I think. I don't know. I think
that was convincing, Nick.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't really think about it until you asked, and then I was like, wait, what? I think I've been good. Well, I've been so, I think I have seasonal allergies or something, because I've been sinusy since, Christmas. And this is, I think the first time I got it was when I went to college. So this has been years and years of just me being sinusy every winter.
I wonder what would you get allergies from in the wintertime?
Maybe dust, mold.
I guess it could be because if the house is so closed up.
Yeah. I don't know. Or I just have a, like, susceptible nose thing with getting sinus infections, maybe. I don't know. But I need to see a doctor and figure it out because I'm always like, I should do this. And then around, like, April, it gets better. So I just forget about it for another year.
Yeah. I understand now.
It just gets worse. I am grateful this year. I don't know if it's that I've been really, like, having a concerted effort to not cough or to drink more fluid or what, but I have not been coughing as bad this year.
But you've been doing, how often do you do smoothies?
I have a lot of greens. I don't do that many smoothies anymore. I've been wanting to. The problem is I always want to do smoothies at like 6 in the morning or at like 11 o'clock at night, and I live in an apartment complex and don't want to be a dick. So, but I do like lots of big salads, things like that. So I've been having greens.
Well, that would make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're giving yourself the nutrition that it needs to fight off the things that it usually can't fight off.
Yeah. And I've been trying to have a daily vitamin and,
It's like I told you that I knew I was going to get sick because I went over to my sister's and she was sick. My niece had been sick. And I knew that I had not been taking care of myself. I haven't been doing the smoothies. I've been pretty much like imprisoned in my room because the dog's been in heat. So I couldn't get to the kitchen to make anything healthy. So I've been eating like fast food for like 4 days straight.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I had to go see my sister. And she's sick, and I'm like, oh, my immune system is so not up for this.
I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah, sure enough, like a day later, I started to get the little twinge in my throat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to take better care of myself.
This is true, you do. As do I.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing I will say. I'm very grateful I haven't been coughing as much this year. Because usually what happens is like somewhere around Christmas, I don't know if it's just the holiday stress or what, but I get super sick. It's all sinusy. Like, it's really bad. And then I start coughing around then, and I don't really stop coughing until somewhere in, like, March. And I just, like, suck on cough drops all winter. And that's super not good for my health, or my throat, or my teeth. So
I, like, had one cough drop after another yesterday. I don't normally do cough drops. I usually do peppermints or something, but my throat was hurting so bad that I'm like, forget it, I'm just going to do some cough drops. Mm-hmm. And so it was like one cough drop after another, and then by the end of the day, I could literally feel the coat of sugar on my teeth.
Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable, and I'm like, I can't wait to brush my teeth.
I just need to do it now! I don't know. Anyway, like, seriously, it's Mucinex and cough drops all winter long, and that's how I usually survive. And I've been trying not to have the Mucinex and not to have the cough drops, and just try and deal with it, and it's been a lot better.
Good.
So.
Good.
Every now and again, I'll need to take some, like, Dayquil or some NyQuil just to, but it's been good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Besides that, life is going pretty good.
Good.
I am a lot less stressed than I was. But seriously, if you listen to, like, episodes, like, 4 or 5 of our podcast, you'll probably hear those couple of months where I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I have comments in the past that it seems like you're sick all the time.
It's true.
And it's probably during those months.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you sick again?
Why are you sick?
Eat more vegetables.
All the time.
Here's a banana. Feel better.
Well, it's like, I think it's just allergies, like it being in a different place in my life. Because as you grow in different places, sometimes you can develop allergies to different things. My dad has some allergies that developed later on in his life. So later on, I mean, like after he grew up and moved out of his parents' house, so it wouldn't be all that weird for my family. So maybe it's just allergies that I need to get looked at. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know about the allergy thing.
I'm weird.
My family doesn't really do. We don't really do allergies in my family.
I hate you. Not really.
I mean, maybe they do. It seems like that's the thing. Everybody gets about allergies now, but if we do, it's not bad.
Yeah.
My dad, I guess he kind of does.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm real good.
Hey.
I've been really enjoying the weather. We've had some crazy weather. It's like one day you go out and it's spring and the snow is gone. Like overnight, it's just gone.
Completely gone.
And the warm breeze and the sun is out, and I'm like, oh, spring is in the air. You know, I'm like running through my yard.
Yes.
Doing little leaps. And I love the snow, but spring just makes you want to do that.
Yeah. Hills are alive.
It's like, yeah.
You're all doing Julie Andrews
Yeah.
there.
But I was leaping in my head. My arms went out, but in my head I was doing little leaps. But like, there's like, it's like the gods, like they look at spring and they just inject like energy and pheromones and happiness into the air. So spring happens and you're just like, you take a deep breath and you're like,
yes.
and then it's been so weird because it's like you're like that one day and then you wake up the next morning and there's 12 inches of snow on the ground.
Which is pretty much what just happened.
What just happened. Well, let me tell you, it was so pretty. First it went from like spring.
Yes.
And then the snow came.
Yes.
And it was just a non-stop onslaught of snow. And I live out in the woods, so I lived in a winter wonderland. I'm out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, it's so pretty.
It was gorgeous. Seriously, it was like 24 hours of snow where we were getting probably like half an inch every hour or so.
And then what do we get today? Spring.
Yes.
The snow is still there, but the sun is out, it's so warm, and the snow is melting super fast.
Super fast. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like we were just outside a couple of minutes ago, and you can already tell that layer of like ice that's starting to build on the top layer of snow from it melting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's craziness.
It is crazy, but really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, that's been happening, and I've been in a very witchy way.
You have.
I have. Sorry, I laughed at my own wordplay there. Sorry.
You with your alliteration.
Yeah.
You've been doing like the tarot readings.
I have. It's been awesome. I did a tarot reading, and like, cause you guys know, I mentioned it. I've been seeing the double numbers forever. Yeah. So I knew. I'm like, my life is not that exciting. She's not gonna tell me anything I don't already know. Yeah. So I kind of knew what was coming. So when I laid out the cards, it said exactly what I thought it would say, but it kind of felt like I was being chastised. Yeah. Kind of like your mom, just like, listen, you're fat and you're unhappy and you know why, so take better care of yourself. It is a vessel, damn it. You know, nourish it. That's what it felt like. And then like the next card was like talking about spiritual space. So it felt like, and you know what? You need to pray more. You need to light some more candles. Do some spells. You'll lose some weight if you do some spells.
So what I'm hearing is that the guy just was like, you never call. And you don't take care of yourself.
That's what it felt like.
Why do you do your hair like this? I'm like, Mom, just go. Stop.
Well, I'm glad she didn't pick on my hair.
I know. I was trying to think
you made it this way.
I know, right?
I can't help the curls. You made it this way.
Me, Mom, please. I can never live up to you, Mom.
Yeah, so that's what it was like. It was like 3 cards of that stuff. And then, like, the 4th card was loved, or like the goddess loves you or something like that. So, and then it was like, God, like, Mom just got after me. And then she's like, it's all right. Stop crying. I love you. And that just made me cry harder. Just like the way if Mom hugged me, it'd make me cry harder. Right. So... yeah, I kept the cards out, and I occasionally pick them up and, like, flip through them and stuff, but I'm like, she's right. Yeah. I need to stop coming up with excuses and being lazy and eating bad foods. I need to just suffer through and do it, and then, and I need to do the spell work, and it'll be easier if I can do the spell work. So, I've started setting up, plans for what I'm going to be doing for my next spell. Yeah. Because I want to do that food addiction banishing thing. And I haven't done that. And it's supposed to help you lose weight. And you like make this satchel of herbs and all this stuff. And then you keep it with you. And if you start to feel temptation, you basically sniff that bag. Okay. And it's supposed to make it easier to not fall into temptation. Yeah. So I've had it set up for a while. And I've never done it. So I'm like, okay, I need to do it. I've started doing the research about, like, when's a good day to do it, what do I need to do to prepare for it, and I think I'm going to do it on the new moon, which is tomorrow, so I'm like, oh, maybe I won't be doing it tomorrow, but it should be right around there, as close, I guess, as I possibly can. It's better to do it than to not do it. Better to do it on the wrong day than to not do it. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's been lots of that, and you and I went on like a jewelry buying spree, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
But it was like very, very witchy.
And very much like, you have been looking for this, here's this deal, which will push you over the edge.
What do you want to talk about now, since we're talking about it?
I suppose.
I mean, we can talk about things out of order. It's okay. We have like a list of things we want to talk about in the order, so we can break the order. It's okay, Nick.
But
It's okay. The world will not implode. It's all right. So, yeah, I was actually... It was part of this whole witchy thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'd been witchy for a couple of days, burning incenses and putting candles out and just and listening to podcast after podcast after podcast.
Yes.
Like, I think I listened to, like, every New World Witchery podcast available. And then I started cleaning. It's like, that was, like, my injection of witchiness that I needed. Mm-hmm. And, so then I'm like, okay, I need to get myself a pentacle ring.
Yes.
And actually, do you remember, I think it was last podcast, or the podcast before that, we were talking about jewelry, and I said I used to wear lots of jewelry all the time.
Yes.
And I said I just quit doing that because I felt bad about myself, blah, blah, blah. I was in a bad place. And you're like, you should do that again. And I'm like, nah. Well.
That was the best summary I think I've ever seen. Oh my God.
I'm trying to save time here. So, that went down.
Go on.
And then I had to edit the podcast. And then, of course, I heard all that go down again.
Yeah.
And it kind of got me thinking about it. And then I started to feel witchy.
Yeah.
You know, listening to lots of podcasts. And I'm like, you know what? I should at least get that ring. So I went online and started looking for pentacle rings. Mm-hmm. And because I used to wear this pentacle ring all the time.
Yeah.
And so I started looking for that, and it was really hard. Mm-hmm. I could not find a pentacle ring that I liked. It took me a very long time. And then I found one that was like $25. It was way more than I wanted to spend. But it was the only one, it was like if you ever go on eBay and you look for rings, you find like 50 of the exact same ring for multiple prices.
Yes.
It was basically that, but this is the one ring that I found only by that price. It wasn't like I couldn't find it for any other price or anywhere. So... And it looked just like my old ring. Yeah. And I felt like I should have that one. That should be the one. So I went ahead and bought that. But in the process, it also linked to like some sales. Mm-hmm. Hey, you should do these sales. And you and I started talking on Facebook.
Yes.
And I said like, oh, I found like a sale for pagan jewelry, pagan-y-ish jewelry or something. Yes. And you're like, can you send me the link?
Links, please. Because I don't have any pagan jewelry.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't.
Why not?
I just have never found any that I liked for the price that I was willing to pay for it.
Yeah, and these were like super cheap.
They were.
Like $4 for a ring, $4 for a necklace, and they looked like nice pewter necklaces and stuff. So I sent it to you, and then you and I spent like at least an hour and a half
sending things back and forth.
Well, look at this one. Well, look at that one. Well, I really like this one. Mm-hmm. And then we added a whole bunch of stuff to our cart.
Yes.
And then we're like, okay, we need to like whittle this down.
I think I was up to like 10 things at one time. I was like, okay.
It was. We had to like whittle. Because then when you get 10 things, suddenly $5 a piece is not so cheap.
No.
It adds up pretty quick.
But I was like, I was just thinking as I was going through, I could use this for this. And like most of what I got were like pewter emblems that are on necklace chains.
Okay.
Which is some of what you got too. And I was like, I could take it off of the necklace thing and just have it as like a pendant that's on like my bag. Or
that's true. It could be like a keychain or something.
Yeah, like a keychain, exactly. So I was like, I could use this for this. And I just kept thinking of things that I could make use of things for. And I was like, I don't need to have like pentacles all over this business.
Everywhere. Yeah. No, you don't. But you want to so bad.
I know. Well, for me, it was like, especially since that's not a thing that I currently do, so I should probably just get a couple and see how I feel about that. Right. And then, because it's not something I have at the moment.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to just stick my toes in and then see how I like this.
So you got like 4 items, right?
3.
3? And what did you get?
All variations of pentacles. There was
really all of them pentacles?
All of them, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was one that's just a pentagram without the circle that looks like it's interlocking, and it's a really nice, pewter. And then there's another one with pretty much the same design, but with a circle around it.
Okay.
And then there's another one that looks like it's made out of rope, about the same size.
Okay.
And then there's a pentacle and then an upside down pentacle behind it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And have you been wearing any of them?
I have not yet. They're just like looking at me like, you want to.
That's funny because like I put mine on the day of and they've been on ever since.
That's awesome.
Like I have not taken them off.
That's awesome.
At all. I got a scarab beetle because I'm all into the Egypt stuff. Mm-hmm. I got a scarab beetle necklace and a pentacle necklace that is the star is made out of broomsticks.
Yes.
And then the circle is the clouds, like the dust coming from the broom sweeping, which I actually didn't realize when I bought it, which is actually pretty cool.
It is.
And then I also ordered another pentacle that was kind of a basic pentacle, but it had green emeralds in it, which I thought green emeralds are kind of important to me right now because of my writing. So I'm like, that'd be perfect, but I didn't get it. Oh. They actually sent me a Celtic cross.
Okay.
Instead. And then I messaged them on on eBay, saying, hey, you sent me the wrong thing. Can I get a refund or get the one I wanted? And they haven't replied back, so.
Weird.
Yeah, which is too bad because otherwise, if they hadn't screwed that up, or if they had at least responded back to me, it could have been an easy exchange and I'd be like, everybody should check out this seller and I'd go back there. But now that I haven't heard back from them, I'm like, I don't think I want to buy anything from them.
Yeah.
Because what if they screw up again and then I just get stuck with a bunch of crosses? Which isn't really my thing. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about it. But yeah.
But then I also got my pentacle, and I got an ankh, an Egyptian ankh, because like I said, Egyptian's my thing. So I got that as a ring. So I have my pentacle ring and my ankh ring, and they both sit next to each other.
And they're beautiful.
Thank you. And I'm like, it got me all excited for the whole rings thing again, so that I went on Amazon and I found a whole bunch of really cheap ring sets that you can get, like 5 rings in one. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to buy those, and I'm going to have 1 ring on every finger again.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited about it.
I can tell.
I haven't bought them yet, though. I'm just like, because I hate spending money, so I'm like, I'll add it to my cart and just let it sit there for a week.
I can tell it's exciting to you, though.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like I'm kind of getting myself back a little bit.
Good.
I have been somebody else for like the last 10 years that has like a shadow of myself.
Yeah.
A very sad shadow of myself.
Oh.
So I feel like I am trying to get that back and become who I'm supposed to be.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty certain if my life hadn't taken the weird turns I took when I was younger, I probably would have ended up with like crazy colored hair and tattoos for like the last 10 years. And I would have traveled all over the world and done all these things.
Do it.
Well, I'm going to do that now. Now that I'm 30, I'm going to do that now.
Do it. Do it now.
So, so we did all that jewelry buying and stuff like that.
I'm like, I don't know. I want to wear them, but like I want to wear it just as a necklace.
Uh-huh.
Like underneath my clothes, because that's the way I wear most of my jewelry.
Yeah.
When I wear jewelry, it's underneath my shirt, whatever. Because I used to wear... My dad is a veteran. When he was over in Iraq, I would wear his dog tags, underneath them, because that's what I did. So it'd be very similar to that. But I'm like, I don't know, this is gonna bother me because I feel like I'm more obsessive compulsive than I was then. So I'm like, I don't know. So
it would bother you because you don't want them underneath your clothes, or
just because it's something different.
Oh.
I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, let's put them out and wear them like I'm proud. And all that stuff. Because I am. I guess. Not like I'm proud, because I am proud.
Yeah. It's not that I'm not proud of that I would be trying to hide something. It's just more of like a personal...
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply that. Sorry.
I know.
It's not really what I was trying to say.
That's fine.
Instantly feel bad.
I'm just like, this, that's just the way...
Right.
I don't know. It'd be more of a personal... thing.
Right, and you know what? That I think is also important too when it comes to jewelry. Mm-hmm. Like the scarab beetle and the pentacle, I'm wearing them now. They're layered, and I have them out, and I don't care. But there has been jewelry in the past that I wore that I didn't feel the need to share. Like one, I actually started going through when I bought all this jewelry. I started going through my other jewelry, and somehow it all ended up into a big knotted ball of chains. So I don't know how I'm going to get them out. But I was going through them and trying to see if there's anything that I still wanted to wear today. Most of them I don't. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of it. But I did come across a Saint Michael necklace medallion that I used to wear all the time. It was one of those moments where I'm like, oh my god, I remember this. Like I wore it like day and night every day. It was basically my pentacle before I had a pentacle.
Yeah.
And I wore it all the time to invoke his protection and stuff. Because my first tarot reading talked about Archangel Michael, and he's always with me. So I went out and I bought that necklace. Mm-hmm. And I wore it underneath my shirt all the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what prompted me to stop wearing it. I must have just took it off one day and then never put it back on.
Weird how that happened.
That is weird. So I'm like, I should start wearing that again.
Yeah.
Or do something with it. So.
You should.
But that would be something that I wouldn't wear on the outside for people to see. It's just, for me, it's for him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And I mean Michael, not like my secret lover or anything.
Apparently me. If I'm Lindsay's grandma.
Yeah, my grandmother doesn't believe that Nick is gay.
Which is okay.
For the record. That's what he's referencing. Because we were talking, apparently, my grandmother told my dad today, she goes, I don't think that Nick is gay. And the way that, it sounds weird when I say it, but I think when she said that, it's like that Nick. You know, like, I don't think that Nick is gay.
Yeah.
and my dad's like, why do you say that? And she said, well, they just spend way too much time together for him to be gay. And I think, like, she might possibly also have said that he's nothing like the gay she sees on TV. So you can't possibly be gay.
It's true.
And before some of you get all huffy and puffy about that, she's an old woman, lives by herself. You know, my grandpa passed away a couple years ago, and she doesn't get out a lot in the world. So she's pretty, innocent in that regard. And I also said to Nick that she might possibly be holding out hope that we have a secret relationship going on. And that's just a theory. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
But considering the generation she comes from,
yes, she
might think that I need to be with someone in order to be happy, which is not the case.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually happier by myself. But that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But I think in her mind, maybe she's hoping that we have a secret relationship because that makes her feel better.
Yeah.
Because then she doesn't feel sad for me.
Well, family is like that. Like, I know my mom is very sad for me that I don't have a normal, quote-unquote, way of having kids.
Right.
My mom definitely feels sadness. Partly because she wants more grandkids, but also partly because she wants me to have that experience.
Well, you still might someday.
I know. I'm like, I still might.
We could end up being like one of those like daytime sitcoms, and I decide to carry your baby for you.
Okay, Grace.
I'm sure that would never happen, but who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe 35 will come around and you'll be like, Lindsay, I'm 30 now, because he's a jerk and super younger than me. I really want to have a baby. Will you carry it for me? Okay, yeah. Why not? Okay.
I've traveled the world. I've got tattoos. My hair is like in braids and, blonde. And I'm comfortable with myself and I'll do this.
Yeah. I actually have been thinking a lot lately about fostering someday. Like, in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Possibly becoming a foster parent.
That's awesome.
Because I wouldn't mind having children of my own, mm-hmm. but that usually means that I have to have a man. Yes. which would be great. I mean, if I met the right guy, that would be awesome. But that seems so unlikely to me after, 30 years of seeing what's out there. Yeah. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it's just not. I'm a little more realistic, I suppose. But, so I thought, maybe I'll do some fostering. I don't have a strong need for kids. Yeah. Either, for the record. Me either. I've never had that maternal instinct. But now that my life is slowly coming together, and I'm feeling like I have something to offer people, mm-hmm. then I'm like, I know how bad the foster care system is, and I know how desperate they are for good parents. So who am I to not take in a kid or two? Yeah. And provide them with a good life. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying I will. I'm just saying I'm thinking about it. Next 5 years, it kind of depends on what happens.
This is true.
Anything can happen in the next 5 years.
It's true.
So, I don't know how we got on that topic. That was a weird shift.
I don't either. Talking about...
We're not talking about witchy stuff at all anymore. We're getting kind of personal here.
We did. Again.
Why does this keep happening?
Anyway, so jewelry. So yeah, I'm not sure if I would wear it out and about, but I think I definitely would put something on my keychain. I like that.
There you go. I don't have anything on my keychain. I have a lot of stuff on my keychain, but nothing religious. I've got mace. I've got a knife. I've got my car beeper. Is that mace? Yeah, that's mace. Is that mace or a gun, Lindsay?
No, I've always been like, is that some asthma thing? Or
oh no, it's totally mace. It's there so that I can mace you and then knife you.
Good to know.
So it's pretty bulky, but I never lose my keys, which is nice. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. So before we prattle on for too long, do you want to talk about Imbolc? Because that's coming up here soon.
It's already passed.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, then why were we going to talk about it? I can't believe I missed it.
Again.
I was so prepared. I was going to do stuff for it.
Because
I even bought a special altar cloth.
I think the problem is it doesn't seem like...
Oh, no, I'm confused. I bought an altar cloth for Ostara. I knew I was going to miss Imbolc. See?
Yeah.
That's how my brain works. I already forgot that I was prepared for that.
Amazing.
Nick's like, this podcast is going to sound so insane because Lindsay's a part of it.
That's partly why we podcast together.
Yeah. I can just, witness, a translation of the things my brain goes through. Oh, no, wait, Lindsay, we're good. We're good. You already knew you were going to miss it.
I'm used to this. You guys just never get to experience it.
From tragic, oh, no, to, oh, wait, right.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I got this.
Well,
Anyway,
so let's not talk about Imbolc then.
Oh.
Unless you want to. Do you have something to offer? Because I don't.
Well, we were going to read from Cunningham's book, but...
Well, we missed it, so it's behind it's old news. So if you want to talk about Ostara.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Changing it up on the fly.
Yeah.
We can handle it. It's okay. You can do it.
Inside of me, I'm
But
like...
we were going to talk about Imbolc.
I don't know what...
I mean, did you do anything for Imbolc?
Not really.
Okay, so you just skip it.
Seriously, though, it was like the week of this is going to sound like I'm making excuses. But it was like the week of inventory at work, and it was just super stressful. And then all of a sudden it was like February 6th, and I'm like, well, that was a thing, you know.
Yeah. It happens. I missed it too, so I don't have the excuse.
I don't know what it is, but it just seems like in the past couple of years, time is just sped up. And all of a sudden, it's almost March. I'm like, where did February go? Where did January go?
Yeah, that's true. We just skipped them.
Yeah.
Completely.
I don't know.
They're not very good months, though, so it's okay.
But we get snow.
Well, that's the only good part about it, yeah, the snow.
We get snow. I love snow.
And spring, apparently. And then snow again.
I saw this picture on Facebook of this little owl that was like, it's like, welcome to spring, and it's chirping and everything's green behind him, and then it's like, not, and then there's just, like somebody has blown snow right at him all over his poor little owl face.
That's so accurate.
It made me laugh. I was like, a week ago, I was like, I don't want to lose winter without more snow. I just want another 2 feet of snow.
And we got more snow in one night than we have the entire season.
The entire season.
Uh-huh.
I remember in December looking out at the extended forecast for this winter. I was like, it's only dropping below freezing a couple of days. We're not going to have any snow.
Yeah, we're back up to 50 again.
Yeah.
40 or something.
But we did get snow, so
yeah.
That's okay. Anyway, do you want me to read about it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we already talked about snow, so...
Yay! Well, as a brief aside, in Imbolc we celebrate the recovery of the goddess after giving birth to the god. So, to get us up to speed.
So my Mary and Jesus statue would have been pretty accurate for that one.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have missed it, huh, Lindsay?
Yeah. Seriously. Well, I'm sad because it's my favorite holiday and I completely missed it.
I'm sorry, Nick.
It's okay.
I mourned for you.
Anyway, it's around March 21st. It's the spring equinox, also known as...
When is it?
Around March 21st.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, good. I got a whole month.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
Yes. Also known as spring, the rites of spring, and Ostara's Day. It marks the first true day of spring. The energies of nature subtly shift from the sluggishness of winter to the exuberant expansion of spring, aka Lindsay will run around the yard jumping around.
Yeah. Leaping. Not jumping. Leaping.
Leaping.
I should make a video doing that.
As a brief aside in a vlog one day.
Yeah. It would become an annual thing.
On the first day of spring.
I just have, like, if I ever get any type of fame, I could have all my subscribers meet me in, like, some big park, and we just run around leaping. And that's how we celebrate spring.
And you'll have butterflies. And,
yeah, it'll be fun. Good times.
Good times. And then there will be a train there that stops everyone. And it'll just be like the major things of your, the major themes of your vlog. Just,
Okay.
Never mind. Anyway.
Nick tried to make it come full circle, and it just kind of didn't work out for him.
Well, that used to be a really big thing. Like, in your vlog, you would try to go to work, and there would be a train. By the train.
Right, I know. I got where we're going with that. It just doesn't happen anymore, because I don't go to work. I never leave my house now.
Anyway.
And Nick's thinking about getting a car, so he'll have to come to me, so I will literally never leave my house.
Right? Well, then I'm the one coughing. Okay. Serious.
Serious?
Oh my god.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So, the goddess blankets the earth with fertility, bursting forth from her sleep, and the god stretches and grows to maturity. He walks the greening fields and delights in the abundance of nature. On Ostar, the hours of day and night are equal. Light is overtaking the darkness. The goddess and the god impel wild creatures of the earth to reproduce. This is a time of beginnings, of action, of planting spells for future gains, and for tending ritual gardens. And again, that is from Cunningham's Book of Shadows. I think it's also an excerpt from Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Because Cunningham's Book of Shadows is just kind of like a collection of Cunningham's other works and some new stuff.
Yeah, and some new stuff.
Yes.
So, do you have any plans for it?
Not so far. I have not even thought that far into the future.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel good for myself then.
I kind of have like this bitter hatred for Easter. So
really?
Yeah.
Is it a religious thing?
A little bit.
Family religious thing?
Kind of, and also because like my family never celebrated Easter in the like more pop culture bunny candy sense.
Really?
So just
you missed out,
right?
Man.
Just like
no Easter, no Halloween.
Yeah, I did not.
Sad childhood.
Yeah. Well, not really, but
yeah. Well, no, not really.
But I feel kind of gypped. Like, one time, my boyfriend got me, like, for Easter, he came over to my apartment while I was sleeping and set up, like, a little Easter basket, a little Easter bunny on, like, the morning of Easter, just because he knew that I'd never had it before. And it was super cute. Yeah. But I was like, aw, I get Easter candy for the first time in my life. And I'm, like, 21.
That's so...
Yeah.
Anyway. It's freaking sad. I bet you probably never went out on an egg hunt either.
No.
Man, it was like an entire day event at my family.
Yeah.
Because you'd get up, and the Easter basket was always hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, in a difficult way, like under a chair in the living room, in the dining room or something. It was pretty easy to find. We were kids. Well, we had these Easter baskets that every year Mom would fill up with candies and goodies and all sorts of Easter stuff, and she'd put them out the night before, so that when we got up in the morning, the Easter bunny came and we'd find it. Oh. And then she would hide, we would have colored Easter eggs in the previous days.
We did do that. And
then she'd hide those throughout the property, and then we'd go on these Easter egg hunts trying to find eggs. Mm-hmm. And then after that, and we'd keep playing it over and over again, so then one of the kids would go and re-hide all the eggs, and then we'd all go and look again. So this would go on for hours of just finding eggs. And then we'd go back into the house, and while all that was going on, my mom will have taken jelly beans and hidden jelly beans around the house. Oh. Kind of like the Easter egg things, but with jelly beans. And then we would do that with the jelly beans. Wow. And then the same thing, once we found all the jelly beans, we would hide them again. And they'd be like, go find them.
Oh my god.
It was a thing.
Apparently.
It was never about religion. We never went to church or anything like that. It was just a thing that we did that didn't make any sense, but we didn't care because it was fun. And it was good memories.
Yeah.
And then Dad told me that, months after Easter, he'd sit down to have coffee in the morning, and he'd glance over and there'd be a jelly bean in the corner of the window that somebody didn't see. Oh, cool! I'll eat that.
Oh my god. Yeah, Easter weekend was always like church, and more church, and we're gonna be church full. That was all that happened Easter weekend.
See, that it did not happen in my family.
Yeah.
We were pretty laid-back Catholics.
all I will say is that for Easter dinner, we always had a really good fancy meal. Like, it was always like, steaks or something a little nicer.
Yeah.
So we had that, but yeah. And it always made me laugh once I started to be like a teenager, because the reason Mom didn't do a lot of Easter was because the bunny and the eggs were pagan symbols.
Yep.
And I'm like, Mom, you just took down this giant ass tree. What are you doing? Like, I don't.
That was Jesus' idea, didn't you know?
Yeah, they had pines in Israel. You've been there, Mom. You would know. They had pine trees in snow.
So,
anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of bitter about Easter.
I'm thinking this year I'll probably color eggs, because I did that for Halloween.
Aw.
Which sounds weird.
Yeah, but it was super cool.
It was, because we did a Russian egg roulette.
Oh, yeah.
For a little pumpkin carving party I had.
Mm-hmm.
So, and real quick, if you didn't know what that was, you hard boil a bunch of eggs, and then you put them in a carton, and one of those eggs will not be hard boiled.
Yeah.
And then you get another person, and one person cracks it over their head, and the next person does it, and you keep going until one of them breaks the raw egg on their head.
Yeah.
And it was really, really funny. It was a big hit. And
who does it? Jimmy Fallon does it?
and Jimmy Fallon does do it, yeah. That's where I got the idea from. He does a couple of things. But I colored the eggs one green and one yellow, trying to go for the green and orange thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then put like Frankensteins and drew little stuff on them.
It was super cute.
It was. I really overdid it. It was, in the grand scheme, it was kind of dumb. Next year, I'm sure I will not go that far.
Or you could just have colored them. Orange and green and orange and green.
Yeah, I might color them, but I don't think I'll actually doodle on them next time.
Yeah.
But, because I was up pretty late doing that. But I actually really enjoyed doing that. So this year, I might color up some eggs. And then, you're supposed to, plant them at certain parts of the property to bring in, good luck or something. Because that's where it comes from. Or at least that's what it's been adapted into. Who knows where it comes from. But it's I don't know if you paint symbols on them, but you're supposed to decorate them. And then I've read that some witches will put one in each corner of your property, and that's supposed to attract abundance or something into your property. You have to really look it up to really know the specifics, but I've read that a few times.
Interesting.
So I might do that this year.
Sounds like fun.
And I am planning. I am planning on doing something for Easter. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Though, besides that. I did buy an altar cloth.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a yellow altar cloth. It's just a cloth. It's no pentacle or nothing on it. And
I kind of like that.
That's just plain?
Yeah.
Well, you get something with a pentacle on it or any type of decoration, and you're paying a lot of money for it.
That, and I always think it just always looks really weird. Because you always want to set up your altar. I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive. I'm I always want things to look right if I'm going to have a symbol there. So everything has to be associated with the symbol.
It's got to be perfect.
It's got to be perfect. So if you have to do something that's not perfect within the symbol,
you know what? I bet I'd be the same way.
I can't concentrate.
I've never really thought about it, but I bet you I'd be the same way. And if it wasn't perfect, it would bug me. If it would be perfect, it was just a little bit this way or something.
So I like just the plain.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I've only done plain because it's just affordable.
Mm-hmm. I always thought I would knit up an altar cloth.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I could.
That's not my thing. But that'd be cool.
This is Lindsay trying to be supportive. Yeah, but that'd be cool, I guess.
Well, they say once you start doing any type of witchcrafty thing, it seems like the ominous they, want you to make everything.
Yes.
It's better if you make it yourself. I don't want to.
I'm a bad pagan.
I am a bad pagan. I'm okay with it. I don't want to go out and carve myself a wand and then tie ribbons into it or whatever it is that they do to make a wand. Yeah. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Or forge myself a new blade for anathema.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now that I've just, like, upset everybody listening who has done all that stuff. It's
There's
just
nothing wrong with that.
It's just not my thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm okay with finding things here and there and using what I can find and makeshift stuff, but I'm never going to my own altar cloth.
Yeah.
But it's cool if you want to.
Okay.
So I just got mine super cheap, but I got what are you laughing about?
You just make me laugh.
Oh, I'm glad.
So you got your altar cloth?
I did. I got my own altar cloth. It's yellow. I actually had ordered a black one because I was going to use it for my banishing spell.
Uh-huh.
And then after I ordered it, I found a black altar cloth in my house.
Oh.
I forgot that I'd bought it forever ago.
That's awesome.
I know, right? So I messaged her back and I said, hey, can you switch it out? Let's go with yellow. Because yellow's, you know, springish and it's positive and abundant, and I'm sure I can come up with some kind of working use that for Ostara. So I am planning on doing something. I just don't know exactly what yet.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do something. I just mock bitterness, but...
I'll probably do like an abundance spell. Because it's that kind of time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will have just done a banishing spell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to push things away. So it might be good to follow it up with a spell to bring something to me.
I like that.
Positive, healthy things to me.
I think I'll probably just do, like, a prayer and the simple feast again. And I think what really tripped me up with Imlock was that I had such a good experience for Yule.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was just, you know, it was simple and it was neat, but I just couldn't get things like I thought about it in those couple of days. But I just couldn't get everything to work together. Like, I was like, oh, I can make bread, and I was okay with making bread this day, but I didn't have, like, wine or grape juice, you know. And I was like, this doesn't really... I just couldn't get all the pieces to fit together.
Right.
And I don't know if that was just, like, some internal problem, or...
Well, let me ask you something. This is something I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
So, you do the wine thing.
Yes.
Or the juice thing. I don't drink wine.
Yeah.
I don't have juice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then you do water, right?
Yeah.
But I have a lot of vodka. So, would it be bad to do vodka?
I don't think so. It's potatoes.
Is it?
Some vodka or a corn mash.
I have no idea what makes vodka.
That's okay.
But I was thinking, like, because I could put like a shot or two, probably just a shot, in my chalice or whatever it is, and use that, and then it will make me all warm and fuzzy on the inside for a little bit after drinking it, which could aid in what I'm doing.
Right. Let us know, guys.
I'm like, is it taboo to do vodka? Because no one ever talks about doing bourbon or vodka when they do their spells.
Yeah, it's always wine or beer
or
mead or something, you know.
I'm like, vodka works for me.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm not a big drinker, period. So this might be a way for me to actually drink up a lot of the booze I have. I got a lot of booze.
Because we keep giving each other booze.
It's true.
Yeah, and I don't see why not. I think the point is just to, like, raise a glass and be merry, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Let us know, guys. Email us, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah. So, okay. So, there's that. And then, do you want to talk about... Oh, okay, spell prep. Mm-hmm. That was something I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
And... Okay, so... I'm like, I looked up, okay, what do I need to do to prepare for this banishing spell?
Yeah.
And I was supposed to... I'm like... People are always talking about, like, anointing candle and cleansing tools, which is never something I've been really all that big into. I think I did it once a long time ago, and I've never been big on it. And I think I should really do it right this time and make sure I do all these things. And so I looked up how to anoint a candle, found a really great way to do it. And it's like, do you anoint your candles?
I do, now that I have oils to anoint them.
Okay. How do you do it?
Well, I have this anointed oil that I anointed. Prepared the oil. And then I use a little bit of the oil, depending on what you're using the candle for, depends on where I would, anoint it from which direction.
Okay.
But essentially I just pray over the candle and then...
Put some oil on it.
Put some oil on it.
You look like you're really thinking about how you should word that. Put some oil on it.
Yeah. Essentially just, dab a little bit of oil on my finger and put it on. If it's like a banishing, I think it's from you want to go from the top of the candle to the bottom of the candle. If you want stuff to come to you, you go from the bottom to the top. Okay. Not that it really... Okay. And I could be wrong.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The one I came across online, which I liked, but I think I might do... I'm not really sure yet, because it's a banishing spell.
Yeah.
But this one I came across online... They take the oil, they put a little on each on their pointer fingers, and then they rub their pointer fingers with their thumbs, and then they grasp the candle between those fingers, right in the center of it, and then the top hand they move upward in swipes, long swipes for the top half of the candle, and they say "as above" while they're thinking about what it is they want to do, and then they stop, hold the candle with those two fingers, and then they move the bottom hand in long swipes downward to anoint the bottom half of the candle, and they say, "so below," while they're thinking about what it is they want to do. And the idea is that they're trying to bring as above down below to where we are. Okay. And I thought that was pretty cool.
And the other way I've read about anointing candles is you just go from the center and out if you don't have a specific...
Right, which is essentially what this one does with a little more fancy stuff thrown into it.
I like it.
So that just got me thinking about, I wonder how other people do it.
I'm really big into candle magic. It's like my little obsession. So, it was like 2 years ago. So, I used to know quite a lot about it.
And I'm a bad pagan, haven't done anything for 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I got a good book. This little pagan shop I like going to. There's a little, like, cute little town that I always go to during the summer, and they have this awesome little cute pagan shop that I love going to. And I always have to buy something there. I got some incense there, or I don't know, I always have to get something there. But last time I was there, I think I spent like $60 or something. But I got a book, and I got some incense, and I got this, and gotta get that, and gotta get that. I think I got some sage, and just gotta get all this stuff.
Right.
I was oh, I could probably get this book from work, but I'm just gonna buy it here.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
So recently I've gotten a book on candle magic, and there's a spell that I really want to do, but yeah.
You should.
I should.
You should do it for Ostara. There you go.
I could start it on Ostara. It's a 14-day long spell.
Oh my.
Which is why I haven't done it yet. Because
that's dedication.
Yes. Well, again, it's a banishing spell. You're trying to banish like an opposing force in your life.
Okay.
For me, it'd be like depression or, something like that. Not exactly what I'm looking... That's just an example. So, essentially, you would start the candles in a position. You would surround yourself by a certain color of candle. Those are your allies. And then you have yourself and your opposing force in the center. And then as the days progress, you move your allies in, and you move your opposing forces apart.
Oh, I like that.
I do too.
That is cool.
It is. So, you're moving yourself and your opposing force apart, and you're bringing in your allies and your supportive system, and
that is very cool.
I love that spell, and I have always wanted to do it, but you know how magic is. They're like, you should do this at the same time for the 14 days.
When we talked about this, and we're like, should we... Do you just not do it, or wait for the right day?
Yeah, so I would be like, I want to do this every midnight for, because midnight is really the only time that I know that I won't be working, because I work in retail, so.
Right.
But seriously, it's like 10 days or 14 days. It's an extensive amount of time that I'm willing to put into it. It's just, as with Imlock, I just could never get everything right.
Yeah.
And I think I really need to work on just doing it.
Yeah, and not letting yourself get stopped up by the little things.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's like my philosophy right now with editing The Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it took me so long just to really get it through anything, because I was just tearing it apart and then beating myself up over every little word, and I finally realized, I'm like, you need to pick up the pace and just go, because it's not that big of a deal if you miss something. It's nice if you do, if you catch everything, but more than likely, everything I'll change, I'm more than likely just going to add another typo that I missed.
Yeah. And this is what beta readers are for, you know.
Right. So you just have to, like, eventually just be like, it's better to do it and get it done than to, you know, nitpick every little thing and then never do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's bad.
So tell me about your spell preparation.
Well, and then the other thing is the tools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I should really, like, clear and, like, consecrate or whatever that word is, your tools. And I think I did it a long time ago, like I said, but I don't think I've done it since. And the things that it was listing that you could do were, like, you could pass it through smoke, like sage smoke, which is probably what I'll end up doing because that's the easiest one. Even though you technically do that during the ritual.
Yeah.
So it seems kind of pointless, but I don't know. And then there was, like, leave it out in the moonlight of a new moon.
Ooh.
Which I thought about doing, but then I'm like, more than likely what will happen is I'll put it out in the new moon, and then Cody, my dad's dog, will go by and pee on it while I'm sleeping. I can see that happening. I really can. Or, like, Dad will see it and be like, what is this weird witchy paraphernalia that Lindsay has sitting outside her window? That's not cool.
No.
And then the other option was, like, letting it sit in salt for 3 days.
Oh.
But I'm like, I don't have 3 days. It was a special kind of salt, too, I think. Sea salt or something.
Okay.
You had to let everything sit in the salt, but that would depend on what your material was made out of.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want the salt to ruin it.
No.
So I was just wondering, because I never really had a single thing that stood out to me as this is what I do. I haven't come across it yet.
Or in sunlight. I've heard that works sometimes, too.
Letting it sit out in sunlight?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have something specific that you do?
Not really. I don't do very much magic. So...
Sorry, bad pagans.
I do tarot.
Yeah.
And
Tarot's the fun one.
They're all fun, Lindsay.
It's so easy.
They're all fun. I'll do tarot. The other thing, and before I've set my decks out in the sun, when I'm first getting them like secondhand from somebody, I'll set them, you know, in the sun to cleanse the energy and then pass them through sage or, you know. Something.
Okay. Now, I have placed crystals on my cards in order to clear the cards and to imbue them and whatever with positive stuff from the crystal. I've done that and let them sit with the crystals for a long time.
I like that. Aside from that, I don't really do all that much. Do some, you know, smoke clear, cleansing.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
No.
Aside from that, I smoke a little marijuana.
It would fit with my apartment complex, but no, I don't. But oddly enough, you know, burning sage does kind of smell a little bit like...
Well, no, it doesn't, not really. But people who don't know what marijuana smells like might think that it smells like sage.
Yes. Well, it smells like really old pot. Like if it's...
It's very strong, for sure, and it lingers for days. No, that was something I did. I did do a clearing.
Yeah.
And I have not done a room clearing in a long time because it smells so strong.
Yeah.
And, like, my dad would come downstairs and he'd be like, why does it smell funny down here? And I would have to lie and say it was incense or something. But then I actually started burning incense because you and I bought that tower.
Yeah.
That incense tower, and so I burn incense all the time now.
Yeah.
And so he's just used to weird smells coming out of the basement. So he didn't even, I burned some sage and it smelled like that for like 3 days, and he didn't remark about it or anything.
Interesting.
But I walked around the room, I did the clearing, I felt super witchy while I did it, and it was great.
That is something I really want to do again. It's coming up on almost a year that I've lived in this apartment, so I'm like, I did it when I first moved in. I have some ideas on how I could do it better, so I think I'm going to do that again.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So before we end this podcast, I did want to talk about, I'm not talking about it for too long because I don't really have that much to say now that I think about it. But I bought a pendulum going along with the whole pagan-y thing. And I just decided, you know what it was? This is funny. The theater that you and I go to, the movie theater that you and I go to, they're doing a Oscar thing where you answer, like, who do you think's going to win these awards at the Oscars? And if you get so many right, you get, like, coupons and stuff. And I wanted to do that. But then there was one I wasn't sure about. I think it was, like, who's going to win Best Animated Film or something. And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea because I didn't see most of these.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard of them. So then I'm like, well, before I put this ballot in, I'm going to order myself of pendulum. And I'm going to ask them. Yes, this is the way my brain works. So I go on Facebook and I'm like, I'm going to get a pendulum. I've been wanting one for a while and I'm finally going to do it today.
Yeah, it was like, this is at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it took me, I think I looked at pendulums on eBay and Etsy for 3 hours.
Yes.
It took me so long and I got so overwhelmed.
At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I see another Facebook update. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm done.
I'm not going to buy one. I've changed my mind. Because it went from being like super excited and positive to like, oh my god, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because one, a pendulum is a very like, I don't know how to word it. Like it's a it's a thing that you feel.
Yeah.
You know, like you pick up the pendulum and does it feel right to you? Are you drawn to it?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And you can't do that when you're buying online.
No.
And then you've got a billion different stones that you could pick from, a billion different cuts that you could pick from.
Yes.
Does it come on a chain? Do you provide your own chain?
Do you want it polished or rough? Or,
yeah. And then like I came across one, as soon as I saw it, I went, oh, it's beautiful, I want it. It was $50. And then I just laughed for a really long time because I hadn't had that reaction to any of them except for that one. And I'm like, no, I can't spend $50 on this. That's stupid. And it turned out it was made out of glass, and I hadn't come across any glass ones before.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a glass would be good for a pendulum. Because it doesn't seem like it holds on to things very well. Like, glass just seems very transparent to me.
See, this is the difference between Lindsay and I. I can pull off a pun and just keep going. And Lindsay's like, I just made a bad pun. I have to accentuate it.
Because I never say puns. Ever. Ever. So, it needs to be noted.
Okay.
But, so I hours and hours go by, and I'm just not happy, and this is not a good experience. So I said that on Facebook, and then I kind of walked away from it, and I wasn't going to get one. I changed my mind, and and then suddenly this ad pops up. You know how you get those side ads and stuff?
Yeah.
And it was an ad for your zodiac sign, but for birthstones.
Oh.
And hey, what is that? So I click on it, and these are your Aries, and these are the stones that work best for you. Mm-hmm. And I know most of my stones, and they were all very accurate. And the one I didn't know, or at least if I knew it, I forgot it, was black onyx.
Ooh.
Right? And I'm like, that's cool. And I'm like, that seems like that would be a really good pendulum. Like, it just like, ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
So I go on eBay and I start looking up black onyx pendulum. Guess what? There aren't very many of them. Aww. Which made it that much better. Because I'm like, apparently everybody gets purple pendulums. Those amethyst ones. Because I found a lot of those. But not the black onyx ones.
Weird.
So, but problem with them not being a lot of them is there wasn't a lot of choices. Mm-hmm. And it was like, the most affordable ones I could find were like, you get 5 of them. Why I would want 5 of them, I don't know.
Why would you want 5 of them?
Because it comes from Hong Kong. So you're paying $15, you're getting 5 of them. They all come from Hong Kong. And the idea is that you would resell them. Yes. I think that's what it's going for.
I think so.
But if you ever bought anything on eBay from like China or anywhere like that, it takes freaking forever for it to show up. Mm-hmm. Like, you're waiting months. Yes. And I didn't want to wait that long. No. So I go on to Etsy and I looked again, even though Etsy was much more expensive than anywhere else. I looked on there and I managed to find a pendulum for $5.50 from this adorable little shop called Silver Swans Emporium. Mm-hmm. So go on to Etsy, Silver Swans Emporium. $5.50 or $6, something like that, pendulums. And they're really nice. They're about maybe an inch, would you say? Not quite an inch. Pretty close.
An inch.
And they come on about a 5 inches worth of chain. Really nice solid chain. And then at the end of it, you get a charm. And you can pick the charm you want. Mm-hmm. They had I picked the key. Because the key has all these really great symbols and stuff. And luck and all these things associated with the key. Yeah. So I picked that. But they also had a pentacle. Which I almost picked. But I'm like, I got a lot of pentacles. I could take a break on the pentacles. Yeah. So I skipped that, but they also had I think a frog and a sun or a moon. So they got it was a pretty extensive list. So you got lots to pick from. Mm-hmm. So so you get the key or the charm, the chain, and the pendulum for $5, and it came in this adorable little satchel. Mm-hmm. And it's sheer, so it's a little see-through. It's black, and it's got stars and moons on it in both gold and silver. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, which is very appropriate, I think, for something using for divination and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, that's awesome. I didn't have to buy a satchel for it. I didn't have to buy a chain for it.
It's the little extra thing that makes the shopping experience.
Yeah. And this was that seller that I bought the altar cloth from. So when I ordered the wrong color, she was very cool about it. And yeah, I'll let you pick whatever color you wanted. And that altar cloth, she wrapped it in brown paper. And then she had this black and white thread that she tied it with. Mm-hmm. And it was really nice packaging. She put effort into it. And I don't think I paid more than maybe $15, $16. Shipping was like $2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you want awesome stuff, go to Silver Swan's Emporium on Etsy. I wouldn't say she has a large collection. She doesn't have a ton of stuff. It's mostly like cloths and pendulums, and then she has some homemade brooms on there. But that's about it. I don't think there's a ton more than that.
Yeah.
And then some cauldrons that are really cheap too. But I already have a cauldron. I have that what do you call it? The pan.
Science.
Yes, I have that for mine. I'm like, these are really cool cauldrons that she has. They're like tin. And I'm like, this is really cool. But really, I've got attached to my cast iron.
I've got a old candle holder. It's for a really thick pillar candle, but that's what I always use when I need to burn stuff.
A cast iron?
No, it's just...
Oh, the holder. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about burning the candle in a cast iron. I don't know where I went there.
No, or whenever I need something for spells.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that because it was such a good experience, and I want to promote awesome people like that. And
yeah.
It was just a very witchy month, and hopefully it continues for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say our podcast didn't really have any topics today, did it?
Not witchy buying spree?
Yeah, like we had a lot of shopping, and we talked about witchy stuff, but not like a specific topic.
Yeah.
We still managed to prattle on for an hour.
It's true.
That's awesome.
Seriously. Literally, before every episode, we get together and we're like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. I thought you were going to come up with something. I don't know. So we just browse the internet for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden there are topics there.
Yeah, and we're just like, hey, let's just talk about just random things that we did.
Which is why I love our podcast.
I love our podcast, too.
Oh.
So,
yes.
Nick, where can they reach you if they want to know more about you?
Well,
usually you do that to me.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can find my weekly vlog on the YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. Just look for the channel Just Elevator Music. Or you can go to our blog at toobadpagans.blogspot.com. And there's a little link over on the side of the page that says Nicholas's links. And that will send you to my blog and my blah, 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 and everything. So.
Yeah. And also, on the topic of the blog, I did some updating on there.
Oh, you did?
I did. I didn't tell you about it. I added a page called Every Page Ever. And that's a spin-off on The Simpsons, Every Simpsons Ever, which I'm like, I know that's stupid to reference it, but I did. It was Every Page, or Every Podcast Ever. Sorry,
okay.
Not Every Page Ever. That doesn't make sense. Every Podcast Ever. So if you click on it, it's all of our podcasts on one page, linking to the podcast along with a quick summary.
Okay.
So we don't have a lot of podcasts right now, but I figure if we keep doing this for a long time, they might get an extensive list, and it would be easier to look in a big group. Mm-hmm. I got that idea from New World Witchery. I should probably give credit because they were talking about doing that, and I'm like, I should do that too.
It's also nice. I will let you guys know in that it starts at the first podcast and goes in chronological order.
Yep.
So if you're obsessive compulsive like me and want to start at the beginning, it's an easy way to do that.
Yeah. Also something I stole from New World Retreat. Because in my head, it would be the opposite direction. The first one would be at the bottom.
Yes.
But they did it that way, so I'm like, I should do it that way too. I don't know why. But I'm glad that it works out.
Because it's New World Witchery. Anyway.
Yeah. They know what they're doing, so.
It's true. Also, if you would like to email me, feel free. I check the toobadpaganspodcast@gmail.com email address every day. I don't always respond because it's just we'll just respond when we talk about it on the show.
Yeah, we almost always talk about our listener mail on the show.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever missed one.
Yeah.
So, and if you have topics too, we're always always grateful for topics.
What?
And then also, the other thing I added to the blog, which I should note, I don't like the way it looks, but I put it on there anyway. I put on this thing called Blog Lovin'. And you can put your email address in there, and then it's supposed to email you anytime we post something. So if you want a way to be notified as to when we post a podcast, you'll get an email when we make a post.
Right away.
And it will let you know, hey, we posted a podcast. And you'll know, hey, there's something waiting for me to listen to.
Woohoo!
So that I just thought I'd add it in there. That's something, easy way to do that. Because I know not everybody listens to us on iTunes. So, yeah.
Sorry. I'm on our blog spot, and there's, this place where people can subscribe to it or join it or whatever. And a friend of mine who I didn't even know that knew that I podcasted is a member there. And I was like, how did you find this? Anyway, hi there, person. I didn't even know you knew about this podcast.
So, well,
Yes.
you know what? If you're talking about through the Google's Friend Connect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you like our blog that way, it does not notify you when we post something.
Yeah.
I'm not
true.
even sure what the point to that Google Friend Connect is.
I don't either.
Because I've followed a couple blogs that way, and I've never gotten an email or notification when anyone's posted a post. So that's why I put the Blog Lovin' in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're prattling on.
Yes.
So,
how can people find you?
same story here. I have a YouTube channel where I post daily vlogs. Just search Lindsay Mead, LINDSAYMEAD. You can find me on YouTube that way. And you can also follow our YouTube channel, which is Too Bad Pagans. And I have linked to it from my channel. And so far, we just post the podcast on there for people who want it that way. But we might post other videos. I haven't talked to Nick about this, but I've been thinking about it. So
I wondered when it was going to come up.
that might be a thing.
Yeah.
And then also, if you go to toobadpagans.blogspot.com, you can find my page, and it links to me on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that good stuff. But also, if you find my YouTube channel, I linked all that stuff there as well.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
you get two vloggers together, and then there's, excess footage, and things happen.
Things happen, right. So there might be videos on that channel.
Yes.
I'm not promising anything, but there might be.
Maybe.
So, okay.
But you won't know if you don't subscribe.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta subscribe.
I'm a terrible person. Anyway,
You should subscribe to all of our channels.
right?
Now that we're prattling on and plugging ourselves, just subscribe to everybody
What is that?
and everything.
Like, comment, and subscribe?
Yes.
Yes.
All the good stuff.
All the good.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
You're all awesome.
It's true. Thank you so much for tuning in this month. Blessed be.
Love and light.